Welcome to Senior Wellness, your trusted path to healthy aging.
Hello, my dear friend. You've probably heard all sorts of health advice over the years, some good, some questionable, and some that just sounds too simple to matter. But today, I want to talk to you about something I truly wish every senior in the world could hear. Not from a doctor's office or a magazine headline, but from someone who genuinely cares about you, your well-being, your independence, and your life after 60. Let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You wake up, shuffle to the kitchen, pour yourself a hot cup of coffee, maybe black, maybe with a splash of cream, and you call that breakfast. Maybe you skip it altogether, telling yourself, I'm just not hungry in the morning. Or worse, you've convinced yourself it's actually healthier to skip breakfast because it helps you cut calories or keep your blood sugar down. You wouldn't believe how many seniors I've sat across from at kitchen tables just like yours, proudly telling me they've been skipping breakfast for years, thinking it's the smart thing to do. And honestly, I understand why. You hear so many trends these days: fasting, dieting, slimming down after 60. It's easy to think that less food means better health. But my friend, let me tell you something that's going to surprise you. Maybe even scare you a little. Skipping breakfast could be silently robbing you of your strength, your memory, and yes, even your life. I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me, because I'm not here to scare you without reason. I'm here because I've seen what happens when seniors don't fuel their bodies properly at the start of the day. And I don't want that to happen to you. Let me tell you the story of someone I met just last year. Her name was Helen. She was 68, retired, living in Florida. A lovely woman, full of life and laughter. You'd have liked her. She reminded me so much of the people I've met in my own family: strong-willed, proud, independent. She believed she had her health all figured out. She took her medications on time. She went for her little walks around the block. And every morning, she skipped breakfast, believing she was doing her body a favor. "It's just coffee for me," she'd say, smiling. "I'm not really a breakfast person." Does that sound like you or someone you know? I bet it does. I hear it all the time. For a while, Helen felt fine. Or at least she thought she did. But slowly, little changes started to sneak in. She started feeling a bit more tired in the late mornings. Her legs didn't seem as strong as they used to. She found herself forgetting why she walked into a room. She laughed it off, calling it senior moments. But it wasn't funny when she started feeling dizzy, lightheaded, like the floor might disappear under her feet. One morning, as she bent down to pick up the newspaper from her porch, Helen collapsed. Right there, in her front yard. Her neighbor found her and called an ambulance. She was rushed to the hospital. After a series of tests, the doctors gave her family some news they weren't prepared for. Helen had suffered a mild stroke. And do you know what the doctors linked it to? Years of blood sugar instability, muscle loss, and heart strain, all made worse by the fact that she started every single day on an empty stomach. I remember sitting with Helen after she got home from the hospital. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "I thought I was doing the right thing. Skipping breakfast. I thought I was being healthy." That moment broke my heart, because I knew Helen's story wasn't just hers. It's the story of millions of seniors who think they're helping themselves by skipping the first meal of the day, not realizing they're quietly putting their health in danger. Now, you might be thinking, but I feel fine. I've been doing this for years, and nothing bad has happened yet. My friend, I want you to hear me clearly. Yet is the key word. The damage builds up slowly, silently, and by the time you feel something's wrong, it could already be serious. So, if you've ever thought skipping breakfast was no big deal, or even a healthy choice, I'm asking you to give me just a little more of your time today. Let me explain why starting your day with the right kind of meal could be the very thing that keeps you strong, independent, and living the life you love. Because what I'm about to share with you could change the way you think about breakfast forever. Let me take you a little deeper now, because what I'm about to explain next is something even most doctors don't take the time to fully tell you. You see, your body is not the same as it was when you were 30, 40, or even 50. After 60, every system in your body becomes more sensitive to what you do, or don't do, first thing in the morning. Think about it. You've just spent 8 or maybe even 10 hours without food, without hydration. You wake up, and your body is already running on empty. Your brain is craving fuel. Your heart is ready to start pumping for the day. Your muscles are waiting for the energy they need to keep you steady on your feet. But when you skip breakfast, you deny your body the one thing it needs most right then: fuel. Let me explain what's happening inside you, even if you don't feel it right away. When you skip breakfast, your body starts releasing something called cortisol, the stress hormone. Now, cortisol isn't always bad. It helps us wake up and get moving. But when it stays elevated because your body thinks it's starving, that's when the trouble begins. High cortisol makes your blood pressure rise. It makes your heart work harder. It tightens your blood vessels. Over time, this quiet, invisible stress can put a dangerous strain on your heart. In fact, the University of Iowa published a major study that tracked thousands of adults over many years. Do you know what they found? People who skipped breakfast regularly had an 87% higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who started their day with a proper meal. 87%. That's not a small number. That's nearly doubling your risk. Simply because of what you don't eat in the morning. And it doesn't stop at your heart. Skipping breakfast starves your brain of the one thing it runs on, glucose. I'm not talking about sugar from cookies or cakes. I'm talking about the natural energy your brain needs from healthy, balanced food. Without that, your brain starts to slow down. You might notice you're forgetting things more often. You might feel mentally foggy, like you're moving in slow motion. Some days you might even wonder, am I losing my mind? Let me tell you, I've heard those words whispered to me more times than I can count. And in so many cases, it wasn't dementia. It wasn't aging. It was poor morning nutrition. One of the biggest studies on brain health in seniors, done by researchers at Harvard, found that people who consistently skipped breakfast had faster cognitive decline. Their memory, focus, and mental clarity faded more quickly than those who ate balanced breakfasts with protein, fiber, and healthy fats. So when you wake up and say, "I'm not hungry, I'll just wait till lunch," you might think you're making a small choice. But you're actually making a choice that affects your heart, your brain, and your long-term independence. And let's not forget your muscles, those legs that carry you from the bedroom to the bathroom, to the kitchen, to the car, to the grocery store. After 50, we naturally start losing muscle every year. It's a condition called sarcopenia, and it's one of the biggest reasons seniors lose their balance, fall, and end up in the hospital. When you skip breakfast, you miss out on the protein your muscles need to rebuild and stay strong. Your body starts breaking down muscle tissue just to find energy. That's why your legs feel weaker. That's why you might find it harder to get up from a chair or climb stairs. It's not just old age. It's your body crying out for proper fuel. Now, let me pause here for a moment, because I can almost hear you thinking. But I don't feel hungry in the morning. I'm not used to eating early. It's just a habit I've had for years. And you know what? I understand. I really do. It is hard to change a habit you've had for decades. But the truth is, your body doesn't care what you're used to. It cares about what it needs to keep you alive and thriving. Skipping breakfast might not seem like a big deal today. But just like Helen learned, the damage builds quietly, day after day, year after year, until one day, your body finally lets you know it's had enough. I care too much about your health to let that happen to you without at least trying to open your eyes to the truth. In the next part, I'm going to show you the simple, powerful habit you can start tomorrow that could protect your heart, sharpen your brain, strengthen your muscles, and completely change the way you feel every day after 60. I hope you're still with me, my friend, because what I'm about to share next could be the very turning point your body's been waiting for. You see, while I've spent a lot of time showing you the risks of skipping breakfast, the truth is, there's hope. There's so much hope. Because the moment you decide to start fueling your body the right way, especially first thing in the morning, you unlock a level of energy, clarity, and strength that you might not have felt in years. And you don't have to take my word for it. Let me tell you another story, this one about Jack. Jack was a 74-year-old grandfather of 6. A retired truck driver, tough as nails, always smiling. But underneath that grin, Jack was struggling. He used to joke, "I run on coffee and stubbornness." And for a while, it worked. Or so he thought. But like Helen, Jack started noticing little things. His legs felt heavier. His mind felt slower. His energy just wasn't there anymore. His wife, Marie, worried quietly. She noticed he was sitting more, talking less, losing his spark. One day, after another long morning of nothing but coffee, Jack stood up too fast, lost his balance, and fell. He didn't break anything, thank goodness, but it shook him, and it scared Marie. That night, they sat down together, and she asked him to try something different. Something small. She asked him to start eating a real breakfast. Now, Jack was skeptical. I've gone my whole life skipping breakfast, he said. But Marie smiled and said, then maybe it's time to stop skipping life. So the next morning, Jack started simple. A bowl of oatmeal with a spoonful of almond butter and sliced bananas. The next day, he added a boiled egg. Then, a few days later, Marie made him a Greek yogurt parfait with berries and a sprinkle of walnuts. At first, Jack didn't think much of it. But within a week, something shifted. He started standing up with more energy. His mind felt clearer. He felt stronger. And the best part, he felt like himself again. Jack's story, just like Helen's, proves that it's never too late to make a change. Your body wants to heal. It wants to feel strong again. But you have to give it what it needs to do that. And that starts with protein. Let me explain why protein is the key to protecting your body after 60. Protein is what your muscles are made of. It's what your brain uses to build neurotransmitters, those little messengers that keep your memory sharp. It's what stabilizes your blood sugar so you don't crash later in the day. And it's what keeps you feeling full, so you're not reaching for those unhealthy snacks mid-morning. Experts recommend that seniors aim for at least 20 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast. But most seniors barely get half of that, if any. And that's where the trouble starts. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I don't have time to cook. I don't know what to make. I'm just not hungry in the morning. And that's okay. I hear you. But let me show you just how simple and delicious a healthy breakfast can be. Picture this with me. You wake up tomorrow morning, and instead of reaching for just coffee, you try this. You grab a small bowl. You add a generous scoop of creamy Greek yogurt, rich in protein, good for your gut. You sprinkle on some fresh blueberries or strawberries, bursting with antioxidants to protect your brain. You add a handful of chopped walnuts or almonds, packed with healthy fats to fuel your heart. It takes less than 5 minutes, but you've just given your body the fuel it's been begging for. Or maybe you crack 2 eggs in a pan, toss in a handful of spinach, and sprinkle a little cheese on top. In less than 10 minutes, you've got a protein-rich omelet that can power your body and mind all morning long. Prefer something warm and comforting? Cook up a bowl of oatmeal, stir in a spoonful of almond or peanut butter, and top it with banana slices. You'll stay full, energized, and satisfied for hours. And if you really don't feel like chewing anything, try a smoothie. Blend a cup of milk or almond milk with some frozen berries, a scoop of protein powder, and maybe a little honey or cinnamon for flavor. You've got a meal you can drink on the go, no excuses. You see, breakfast doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be complicated. And it certainly doesn't have to take up your whole morning. It just needs to be balanced, nourishing, and consistent. Because when you start your day with protein, paired with a little healthy fat and fiber, you give your body the tools it needs to protect you all day long. You stabilize your energy. You sharpen your mind. You protect your muscles. And most importantly, you take back control of your health. My friend, I want to leave you with something even more important than facts and studies. I want to leave you with a sense of hope, because this is not a message of fear. It's a message of opportunity. If you've been skipping breakfast for years, you might feel like the damage is already done. You might think, what's the point of changing now? But let me tell you something I've seen over and over again: the body forgives. The body rebuilds. The body heals. And it doesn't matter if you're 60, 70, 80, or even 90 years old. Just like Helen turned her health around after her stroke. Just like Jack rediscovered his strength after nearly losing it. You can do the same. It starts with one small decision. One small change. Tomorrow morning. Not next week. Not next month. Tomorrow. I want you to wake up tomorrow and make a promise to yourself: I will not skip breakfast today. Start simple. Start small. You don't have to prepare a 5-star meal. You don't have to count calories or measure portions. You just have to give your body something real. Something nourishing. Something it can use to power your heart, your brain, and your muscles. And every time you do it, you're telling your body, I'm choosing to live stronger. I'm choosing to protect my mind. I'm choosing to take care of the only body I'll ever have. I've seen seniors reverse years of weakness, foggy thinking, and low energy just by changing how they start their day. You don't have to accept decline as just part of getting older. You have the power to write a new chapter, starting tomorrow morning with breakfast. So here's my personal challenge to you. Tomorrow, prepare one of the breakfast ideas I shared. Sit down. Eat slowly. Notice how you feel afterward. And do it again the next day. And the next. Because the difference between fading and thriving after 60 isn't luck. It's habits. And before you go, I have a favor to ask. If this video touched you, helped you, or opened your eyes, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Senior Wellness, and share it with someone you care about. You never know who might be silently struggling, just like Helen or Jack. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Tell me, what's your favorite healthy breakfast? Or simply type, I choose to fuel my body every morning. Let's build a little community here. Let's support each other. Let's prove that it's never too late to take back our health, one simple, powerful morning at a time. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you feel encouraged, inspired, and ready to take that first step tomorrow morning. Until next time, my friend, stay well, stay strong, and never stop taking care of the incredible body you've been given. I'll see you in the next video.